Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the Bitcoin price this Wednesday, as we are still seeing some sideways price action between the previous all-time high at 64,800 and the major support right now at 61,844. But because of this sideways price action, Ethereum moving into new all-time highs today, testing this very important resistance level at 4665-ish. And if we start seeing some 4-hour and hourly candles closing above this level, the last time that happened, Ethereum pushed to the upside with a very strong amount of volume that came in, and that's where we saw the $3,000 to $4,300 Ethereum come into play within a few days. And so the question is, if we start to see those hourly and 4-hour candles closing above 4665, does that mean there's going to be another push above 5,000 for Ethereum? We're going to talk about this today, but keep in mind that with Solana and very specific altcoins seeing some new highs, but this chart that factors in the top 100 coins outside of Ethereum and Bitcoin, not necessarily seeing the type of strength some of these altcoins are seeing, we're still in a very interesting position with altcoin and Bitcoin dominance. And this is going to be really the emphasis of the video, since Ethereum is now breaking into new highs. With this Bitcoin dominance chart breaking down from the 50-day moving average, and of course now fully below this 20-week moving average, are we going to potentially be seeing continuation to the downside for Bitcoin dominance, a full decoupling from the DXY, which of course we know the DXY, very correlated to Bitcoin dominance, has been above the 20-week moving average? Will this be a decoupling effect? Maybe because Bitcoin is now recognized as a more institutionally graded asset with Bitcoin futures ETFs out. Who knows what the storyline can be? The narrative is always there. But the question is, with Bitcoin dominance moving to the downside, do we expect the total market cap to just continue moving further up with Ethereum and Bitcoin breaking into new highs and more strength into altcoins? That has to do with this chart here that factors in the coins outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum and what's going to happen to Bitcoin dominance. And so that's a very important part of the video that we'll cover. And then we'll look at the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, which is the most important chart for Ethereum. But first, I want to just quickly address here what's happening to Bitcoin. I know we're moving sideways. It might get quite boring here with the charts when we're consolidating, but I think that it's very important to realize what's happening here on the macro into the micro timeframes, because we are seeing less and less volume. We have not seen more volume come in since the 10th of October when we started to move up to test that previous all-time high and break the all-time high. We've been seeing a lot less volume come in, and that's very clear here on the institutional time frame as well. On the 6-hour, notice how we are seeing the least amount of volume that we've seen in this higher price range that Bitcoin is currently in. And so that's a very big puzzle piece that we need to see change here real soon for Bitcoin to assume strength for the overall market. But if we come and test 64,855, the previous all-time high, the same way that we predicted that Bitcoin would break into new all-time highs if we broke back above 49,700, in my opinion, this is what I'm personally going to be monitoring here for Bitcoin as we start to see continued price action to the upside. Because if we get to 64,855, the 4-hour and hourly timeframes are going to be the most important timeframes to see is there real volume coming in, because a second test of this level is potentially going to be the confirmation that we're going to see continued upside for Bitcoin. But until that happens, we have to wait and see what the test would be like of 64,855. So far on yesterday's daily candle, we tried to come up there, but we only got a wick that failed to test 64,855. So that's certainly a puzzle piece that's on the table from yesterday's candle. But today's candle got bought up really quickly as we came and tested the previous week looking at 60,800. So that's a positive sign for Bitcoin. And then the smallest time frames are not going to matter as much since we're only seeing small volume on the larger time frames. Then that's what we'll focus on until we start seeing more volume on the larger time frames, and the smaller ones will come into effect. But Ethereum, as I mentioned from the start, if we get some closes above 4665, that could be a huge deal. The Ethereum to Bitcoin chart is something that we're monitoring. It's quite against most of the altcoins, showing a lot of strength above all of its moving averages, unlike many coins against Bitcoin. That's a very big puzzle piece to keep in mind, because we know there's a lot of ways that this market can be manipulated. It can be manipulated with Bitcoin moving into these coins, and that's just not necessarily new capital coming in, it's just manipulation. Sometimes those coins get drained back into Bitcoin. So Bitcoin dominance is going to give us the biggest puzzle piece of what's to happen here. And with the Fed's meeting today, just to quickly cover traditional markets, the FOMC meeting was today, and that Feds did announce that they were going to begin tapering away asset purchases this month for the first time since March of 2020. And so now we really want to start monitoring this DXY, because if we start to come and break down or break to the upside, there could be some momentum, as the Feds have been moving this chart quite a bit with their announcements. The S&P 500 showing strength today, new all-time highs with that announcement. Very positive thing to see here. It's going to be a very interesting end to the week, I think, with the fundamentals sort of shifting here, because government policy does affect the markets quite a bit. Euro 100 also showing strength today, and Japan and China not necessarily moving much. Gold showing some weakness, coming down, testing this major support 1764. There's obviously money moving around right now, so I think that that's very clear. And then just to wrap up with this gold to Bitcoin chart, if we see this break down below this low that was formed here on the 21st of October, that would be another confirmation that Bitcoin has more strength. And so this is what we want to start to monitor to just get a gauge of how much gas is in the tank. So with that, I'm still in Mexico. I'll be heading out to Tulum here really soon. And I appreciate each and every one of you snipers tuning in the channel. Our Discord has been going crazy about altcoins. There was actually this interesting chart, I just had it pulled up, that somebody posted today about the altcoins that have yet to really see performance, because it seems like people are just trying to catch the next altcoin right now. That's based on what I'm getting here from the #1 cryptocurrency Discord community in the world as I'm reading through you guys' messages. Look at this. Syad posted this chart, top 50 performance over the last season, 90 days. And he's like, maybe I should be putting money into Tron, Cardano, VeChain right now, because those have not seen liquidity come into them. But you know, the biggest thing for me that's just odd about the altcoins moving up is because it's just very specific altcoins, we really want to see the overall altcoin market show some strength. So one thing I want to see here, if we want to assume continued upside for altcoins, is this chart moving back above the 50-day moving average, the top 100 coins outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum. But I think that that could only happen if we get a confirmation of what Bitcoin dominance wants to do. And that's only going to come with the confirmation of whether Bitcoin wants to continue to price discovery or continue to move sideways. So that was a nice summary, right? With that, thank you for tuning into the Snipers channel today. I'll see you guys on the Discord as always. We've had a lot of success with our altcoin trades on the Discord as well. We have the #1 community in the world. And until next time, snipers